Hello everyone, welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for starting 11 predictions for Celtic versus Aberdeen. It's the team with the best home record against the team with the best away record, so it should be a cracker at Celtic Park on Saturday. 3 o'clock kick-off. We've not had many of them recently, and we've not had the midweek without a game for a good while as well, so it's good to get back into some content. We'll start in goals, as we always do, and of course it'll be Scott Bain. Only conceded 2 goals this year domestically, and when you think about the man of the day 2 goals, it was that one against Motherwell and a really sloppy penalty that we gave away against Hearts. So he's been great since he's came in. We've seen some great saves from him as well, so I expect him to continue in goals. On the right back, and this is one where I think we'll see with Neil Lennon. He knows Michael Lustig very well. I think Jeremy Toljan did struggle at Tynecastle. We've seen him come off, Lustig come on, and then Lustig started the game against Hibs. So I'm going to go with Lustig at right back for this one. This is one of the few changes I think Neil Lennon's going to make. I don't know how often we're going to see Lustig. I don't know if Toljan's going to come back in, but I think it'll be Lustig for this one. Centre half, I expect the partnership of Boyata and Ajer to continue. Those two have been absolutely fine, apart from that lapse against Hearts where Ajer gives the penalty away. They've been absolutely fine. Going to be interesting to see if Neil Lennon does continue or even further his intention to get us to move the ball a bit quicker going forward. I think obviously we've seen the penalty against Hearts was an example where we played ourselves into trouble needlessly. So interesting to see if he's going to try and put a stop to that, if he is going to encourage the centre halves to play forward a bit quicker. But I expect it to be Boyata and Ajer, and we'll wait and see on that one. Left back, it will of course be the best left back in Scotland, Kieran Tierney. Great to have him back in the side. You see his value both offensively and defensively. You see it against Motherwell. For the first goal where he makes a bursting run 50-60 yards up the park, cuts it back for Christie, who crosses it in for Sinclair's goal. Or defensively at Tynecastle where he puts his head in where he could get hurt to make a block right in the last minute, and then we take it up the other end of the park and get the winning goal. He's massive for his KT, so he'll be back in at left back, and it's great to see him back in there. On the midfield, this is the area where we're absolutely struggling big time with injuries. I think Neil Lennon says we've still got 11 players out injured. Some big players in there, most of them midfielders. When you think about McGregor, Christie, Vogic has been out long term. So I expect it to be Scott Brown, of course, captain in the side, and alongside him I think Neil Beaton will continue. Been quite impressed with Beaton. He's earned a lot of plaudits for some fans with his performances, particularly against Hibs. A lot of people singled him out for praising that one. He's been good. I think we're very familiar with how he plays. I expect him to continue in there. Good range of passing. Maybe him and Brown together. It's not the most dynamic, forward-thinking partnership, but as I said, with injuries, it's about all we've got just now. 3 in front of them, I'm going to have those two sitting. I think 3 in front of them, similar to it was against Hibs. On the right hand side, James Forrest. I've touched on his form a few times in these starting 11 predictions videos. He was obviously, everything he touched turned to gold in October, November. He had a slight dip, but I must say these 2 games against Hearts and Hibs last week, it was absolutely terrific. That goal against Hibs was breathtaking. Dropping the shoulder by 2 defenders, smash it into the top corner. Absolutely brilliant. Really interesting to see as well if Neil Lennon's going to continue with. We've seen the change at half time at Easter Road where he let Forrest drift in to the middle and Burke went out to the right hand side. That was really interesting. It worked for us against Hibs. I thought Forrest was good just roaming about in that sort of free 10 position. So interesting to see what he does here. I'm going to say that he's going to start on the right hand side. On the left hand side, Scott Sinclair. Again, we've touched on his form a lot recently. looking good. Interesting to see what's going to happen now that the former manager has left, with Sinclair's contract coming down. I think he's got the option of another year. Don't know what's going to happen with that one. Let us know in the comments below what you think will happen with Sinclair's contract situation. Do you expect him to be here next season? I do expect him to be playing on the left hand side on Saturday, that's for sure. And up top, I think Oliver Burke is going to play just behind Odsonne Edouard. Again, as I've touched on there with Forrest, coming in to the sort of 10 role for the second half of Easter Road, there's a lot of fluidity up front with this front three or front four, if you want to call it that. We can move them about. I think Neil Lennon likes that. So we could see Edouard play slightly behind and let Burke lead the line. We could see Forrest come into the middle and Burke go to the right hand side. That gives us a lot of options. Neil Lennon's already said that he thinks we can get the ball forward quicker, as I've already touched on, and that we can score more goals. So I think he's going to go with Burke and Edouard. That is an attacking team. It's doing really well just now, coping with the injuries that we've got, as I mentioned, and with this 100% home record, I expect us to keep it up on Saturday. That's it. You know what to do. Like the video, comment your own thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe. We're over 12,500 now, and that means we're chasing down 13,000. Thank you, and we'll see you at Celtic Park on Saturday. Hail, hail.